life regression experience. It's not past life regression therapy, not here to cure any nervous conditions or anything like that. It's just to let you know what hypnosis is, what past life regressions are, etc. So it's a bit of a learning experience. Has anybody been hypnotised before, either by a stage hypnotist, a hypnotherapist, or listening to an audio, hypnosis audio? Nobody? No? That's good.
Today's 16th.
Before I forget,
Yeah.
has anybody got the mobiles on?
Oh yeah.
If you could make sure it doesn't vibrate as well. Because when we go into the hypnosis side, people are hyper aware of the thing, the mixture of minds. In the 90s, but I've always been fascinated by the mind and by things like magic and supernatural. I did my first diploma course in 1996. I went on from there to train with Paul McKenna in, I think it was 1999 or 2000, training on what's called neuro-linguistic programming, which some people are beginning to hear about. I've also done loads and loads of courses on life coaching, psychotherapy, past life regression. I did my first past life regression course, that again was in the late 90s, a guy called Stephen Burgess, who's probably, well, I think he's the world's best past life regression therapist, based up in Hull. I was so impressed with Steve's work that I actually did me complete hypnotherapy diploma or clinical hypnosis diploma with him, which was a 2-week course up in Hull in the early 2000s, 2003 I think it was, because I love the style of practice, you know, because there's hypnotists and there's hypnotists. By the way, clinical hypnosis and hypnotherapy are exactly the same thing. It's like football and soccer. It's just I prefer calling myself a clinical hypnotist than an hypnotherapist, basically because I'm also trained as a forensic hypnotist and covert hypnotist. So therapy means healing. Forensic hypnosis doesn't do any kind of healing or whatever, it's just to regress a victim or witness to recall incidents. Right, there's hypnosis. What is hypnosis? Hypnosis was coined in the 1842 by a doctor called Dr. James Braid. He named it after the Greek god of Hypnos, which is the Greek god of sleep. Basically because he thought the mind shut down because the person was non-responsive in a way, or the conscious mind was non-responsive. He did try and change it a couple of years later to monoideism, but obviously hypnosis stuck. So hypnosis has nothing to do with sleep. Hypnosis can be good and it can be bad, it's a tool. But to explain that into more depth, if I split hypnosis into two components, you've got the hypnotic state and you've got hypnotic suggestions. The hypnotic state lies in the continuum between wake and sleep. So if you're awake, before you can go to sleep, you have to go through a corridor. That corridor is hypnosis. So before you go to bed tonight, you'll be hypnotised anyway, regardless of whether I'm there or not. Same as when you wake up in the morning, before you fully wake up, you'll go through an hypnotic state. Yeah. Everybody goes through an hypnotic state many, many times a day. When you're driving, you're in an hypnotic state. When you're daydreaming, you're in an hypnotic state. It's every time your conscious switches off. Your conscious is very rarely conscious. The way to describe it is, you know when your alarm's gone off in the morning, you've woke up, you've gone to the bathroom, you've gone put the kettle on, but you're still not fully awake. That's the hypnotic state. Same as when you're driving along and you do the regular journey from A to B every day, so you know it off by heart, and you get from A to B and you think, oh, what have I got here? It's because you've been through an hypnotic state. You can't drive consciously because your conscious has not got the power to be able to process. I need to press the clutch, I need to press the accelerator, I need to change gear, I need to observe all around. you can only do that subconsciously, because obviously your subconscious can process a lot more information than your conscious. Another thing is, like, say if you're driving along, then all of a sudden a kid jumps out on you. You automatically come out of that trance state. It's sort of like you wake up and you can feel all the chemicals rushing round. Yeah? So the hypnotic state is 100% safe. Yeah? Hypnotic suggestion, on the other hand, that can be fatal. If you're not with a competent hypnotist, then it can cause, well, it has caused in the past. There was a stage hypnotist in Preston, I think this was in the 80s. He hypnotised a woman on stage, and he gave her the suggestion that she'll experience a lightning bolt run through her. Now, nothing happened on stage. She was just, she was devastated and a bit shocked, in my own pun. But later on that night, she went home and died. And all he could find on the autopsy was she died of some sort of epileptic seizure or something, even though she never suffered from epilepsy. So that's one instance. There's another famous instance with a guy called Dr. Richard Bandley. He's one of the co-creators of neuro-linguistic programming. And I think he was in the 70s. He was experimenting with a lot of drugs and stuff like that. And he hypnotised a woman, and she basically blew her brains out. He did go to court, so it is a genuine case. He was acquitted from it, because obviously there's no such thing as hypnosis, so how can he hypnotise her? But yeah, so obviously hypnotic suggestion in the wrong hands can be very fatal. Obviously with a competent hypnotist like myself, it's very safe, you know, I know what I'm doing. So is there any questions on hypnosis or hypnotic suggestion? Is that really clear?
Yep.
So let's go on to past life regression. Memories. Memories don't work like a videotape. So a memory is always reconstructed by your mind. So that's why, say if you've got 10 witnesses to an armed robbery, they've all got a good clear sight of what they've got on, but you'll have 10 different descriptions. Maybe somebody will say the guy had a balaclava with a black jumper and blue jeans. Another witness will say he had a blue jumper with green trousers. None of them are lying. It's because the mind, whatever it can't recall, it'll reconstruct it. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. So if I said to you, think about your 10th birthday, and straight away you think of a 10th birthday cake with number 10 on. The rest of it, what you can't remember, will be reconstructed. It won't be like a jigsaw with missing parts and then there'll be like chunks missing. It'll fill in them gaps. So your memory is reconstructed every time you recall a memory. You can't actually remember an emotion. Emotions you can only experience in the present, and you know, at this moment in time. There's no such thing as past and future, they're just concepts. It's only the present that actually exists. So, for instance, if you felt bad about an incident that happens, say you were abused when you were a kid, and every time you recall that instance, it makes you feel bad, then you're feeling bad in the present about that instance. Yeah? So, same with pain. You can't remember a pain. Your mind creates what that pain would feel like. It's the same as if you watched an horror movie and you saw somebody have their big toe ripped off. Even though you've never had your big toe ripped off, you sort of cringe and you sort of feel your nerves going and stuff. It's basically because your subconscious will create what that feeling will feel like. Yeah. With regards to regression is recalling or reconstructing a memory. So if I said to you, what did you have for your tea last night? For you to answer me, you'd have to regress yourself. Yeah. So you don't need an hypnotic trance to actually regress. Any recalled memories is called as a regression. Obviously, in hypnosis will magnify that experience. So it's a little bit like, say, a blind person. The rest of the modalities, the rest of the senses will be hyper alert, or so even though the blind man can't see, he can by touch and by sound. Yeah, if that makes sense. Well, in hypnosis, you switch off all those modalities, so your brain is like full of creativity, and everything's like you're very hypersensitive to any sounds and stuff. Yeah, so regression is recalling a past memory. Hypnotic regression is using a bit more sort of power behind. It's like plugging it in and sort of it's like the difference between looking on a photo and looking on like a cinema screen. Yeah, it's more vivid experience. Past life regression. There's many different theories, but obviously it's recalling the memory in the past life. Obviously, I've already explained that your memory reconstructs that memory. So if you were to put money on what past life regression is, you'd say that it's an overactive imagination. That your mind is so creative and so powerful that you can actually imagine that you're Joan of Arc or Henry VIII for somebody, to the extent that you can actually feel how it feels to walk in their shoes, or smell what it smelled like, or all your senses are hyper aware. Obviously, there's other theories about souls, reincarnation. There's a lot of evidence about reincarnation. Whether or not past life regression using hypnosis is tapping into reincarnation, again, it's one of these things that can't be proved or disproved. And this actual experience tonight is literally just to get you to experience and to make your own minds up. It is like a muscle as well. Any kind of hypnosis work is like a muscle. The more you use it, the better you become at it. So we'll do an hypnotic trance. Just a plain trance, and then we'll bring you back out again before we do another trance for putting you back on the purpose of taking you into a past life. By doing that as well, first of all, it'll reassure you that it's 100% safe, that you're not going to be, I'm not taking over your mind. I'm like a driving instructor. I'm just guiding you and instructing you on what pedals to touch, what pedals to press for making you go faster and slower and things like that. I can't take over your mind. You're in complete control over that. Yeah. So, is there any questions on that at all? No?
No.
No, so everybody is happy to do a bit of have a taster of a hypnosis, hypnotic or monoideism. Does anybody want to go to the toilet or anything before we start? Yeah. What do you want to do? Do you want to switch the lights off?
Whatever you think.
Or well, I was just going to say, we could probably do the past life regression and switch the lights off a bit. With some talent to you. One thing, because obviously hypnosis is a communication tool for your subconscious or unconscious. Well, everything that you can't consciously control is controlled by the unconscious. So things like blood flow and heart rate and metabolism and stuff like that. Now, when you're being hypnotised, make sure that you haven't got your legs or your arms crossed, because it stops the circulation running. So make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Make sure you get yourself as comfy as possible in your chair. So you haven't got things sticking in your back or anything. And what I want you to do is to just lift your right arm up 90 degrees and just clench your fist, but gently, not tightly, and just stick your thumb pointing towards the left. I just want you to focus, just hold your gaze on your thumbnail. Just keep your gaze fixated to your thumbnail and notice the change in focus in your gaze. And when you're ready to go into trance, your unconscious will take complete control over your right arm and begin to relax your arm one cell at a time now. But not until you're ready to go into trance. Will your right arm begins to feel heavier and heavier, one neuron at a time, one cell at a time, relaxing more and more deeply as you're focusing on your thumbnail. And in a moment, your arm's going to feel so heavy that your arm is going to start dropping and touch your lap. And when your arm touches your lap, I'd like you to just close your eyes, but only when you're unconscious is ready to go into trance. You may begin to notice your arm beginning to get heavier and heavier. Notice the pull in the muscles and the nerves. Only as soon as your unconscious is ready to go into trance, beginning to make your arm feel heavier and heavier, heavier and heavier. And just notice the sensations in your arm. And your arm is becoming heavier and heavier until your arm wants to relax more and more deeply and deeply, and just drop to your lap. That's right, don't try to resist. Allow your unconscious to go into trance now, and feel your arm becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. That's right. Heavier. And just take a nice, slow, deep breath as your gaze is fixated to your thumbnail. That's right. Until your arm begins to feel so loose, limp and lazy right now. That's right. Don't try to resist. Just allow your unconscious to go into trance. In a moment, I'm going to count down your unconscious to go into trance now, safely and securely. And allow your unconscious to spread that wonderful relaxation feeling down your chest and spine, down into your stomach and lower back, tingling sensations. That's right. Down your thighs, down to your knees. Deeper and deeper. Down your calves and shins. Becoming loose, limp and lazy. That's right. Down your ankles and feet and toes. Your unconscious is ready to go into trance now. That's right. In a moment, I would like you to imagine a magical purple liquid filling your entire body from the inside. This magical purple liquid will protect your spiritual being and restore, rejuvenate, and repair every single cell. So imagine now this magical purple liquid filling your toes and feet, restoring and protecting every cell as it continues slowly, safely and securely up your ankles, calves and shins, up your knees, rejuvenating and repairing every single cell. Up your thighs and the hips. Filling your stomach and safely restoring, rejuvenating and repairing every single cell, letting go of any unnecessary negativity. That's right. Continuing up. That's right. Slowly, safely, gently. Continuing up to your chest and shoulders. That's right. And notice as it travels up your lungs and chest, you begin to feel your chest repairing and your lungs becoming more loose and limp, breathing more and more easily right now. Down past your elbows, through your wrists, hands and fingers. Magically feeling re-energized. As it safely and securely up your neck and face, all the way up to the top of your head. That's right. Letting go of any negativity, letting go of any apprehensions or fears. Until every single cell in your entire body is covered with this magical purple liquid. And you may even feel a purple glow or a purple aura around you, protecting you spiritually from this moment forward now. Feeling protected, feeling rejuvenated and re-energized. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And on a count of 5, you'll become fully alert and wide awake. On 1, becoming aware of each and every muscle. On 2, becoming aware of your surroundings in the here and now. On 3, coming back to normal awareness. On 4, becoming more and more aware, more and more alert. And on 5, become fully alert and open your eyes, become wide. Don't try and stand up. You might notice tingling sensations in your feet, arms. But don't try and stand up because allow the circulation to carry on for a moment. So, any feedback from that? How does that feel? Did anybody feel hypnotised? Did anybody not feel hypnotised?
I felt it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did in the room. I didn't feel like I went away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was deep, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was hypnotised though. Don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's fully aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because there's a lot of misconception about what hypnosis is. A lot of people think they're going to be taken over and that. But all of you are hypnotised. You know, hypnosis is not something that's different. Hypnosis is a natural state that you've experienced, and because it's not something that's not out of the blue,
Yeah.
you know, that you don't feel hypnotised, but you can't actually feel hypnotised. What you tend to feel is sort of relaxed, like daydreamy, as if, or even hyper-aware, that you can hear the sounds more clearly, or you can feel different sensations more, you know, in your legs or your arms or something. But how was that? Did anybody any concerns about anything there, or?
No, it's very similar to what we meditation. It's well, like, we do guided meditation, well, we have done. I haven't done for a while, but
Yeah.
we used to do it similar.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's kind of a similar kind of thing. So yeah, and then we got images, and I didn't get any images then, but on guide. But the state I was in was, I was quite surprised. I was deep.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a bit deeper than I expected or would have done.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah,
What about the purple liquid? Has everybody was everybody able to visualise a paper that we...
No, mine was blue.
Yours was blue? Yeah, there's always one. But the fact, like, that's why I had to sort of count you both into trance. But a trance isn't something that you're going to sort of fly off and, you know, be meditated into a different life form. It's a natural state. You know, watching QVC, you're in a trance state. You know, how many times have you bought something off TV where you never use? You were basically hypnotised by buying that product. So it's not something that should feel uncomfortable. Yeah, if that makes sense. It should feel natural to you, which is exactly what I wanted.
I'm glad you said that though, because I felt very much like similar to when we do the meditation.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the hypnotic state is like a microwave meditation. It's like you get a 2-hour meditation in 10 minutes, you know. But a lot of people experience what's a phenomenon called time distortion through hypnosis. Just a guess at how long that took. What would you guess in minutes from when I had you raising your hand to when it comes to the out? What did it feel like to you?
Weird.
Yeah, but how long do you reckon that took?
Quite a long time.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, an
About
hour?
20 minutes.
About 20 minutes? What about yourself?
I said 5 or 6.
5 or 6 minutes? What about?
Possibilities.
5 to 10 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes? It was actually about just under half an hour, well, about 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's because when you're in a hypnotic trance, you experience time distortion. So you were close on, so chances are you didn't go that deep. Maybe you feel uncomfortable in a group going into hypnosis, which is fine. That's why we're doing this first session. The more we go into hypnosis, the more you'll be able to sort of experience it more. So hopefully when we do the past life regression, we'll guide you into hypnosis. You might feel that was more deeper, but as I say, that's why I want to do the 3 sessions, because it gets you used to going in and out of hypnosis, and it gets you, gives you a more vivid experience as well, because as I say, it's like using a muscle. Mm-hmm. Any questions at all on that at all?
No questions, you two?
Yeah. But yeah, basically that's all hypnosis is. Yeah? Obviously, stage hypnosis, it'll take you a lot deeper, but for the purposes of what we want to achieve, it's just a mild trance state. Some people go deeper than others, but even a very, well, you don't even have to go into a trance state to regress. Yeah, you just just let your imagination go with the flow. So even if you don't feel hypnotised, just imagine what it'd be like in a certain date's what I'll be calling. Yeah? Right. So how's your right arms feeling, by the way? Because it's alright. Sometimes I've had clients where they've resisted for about half an hour or so, and I've just gone along with it, but it's a one-to-one session. But then the arm locks up. But obviously I counted you down into trance.
I felt like mine took a while to not be heavy, even after it.
Yeah, well, you can tell, because the suggestions that I give there's a lot of covert suggestions that I'll be telling you something, but I'll covertly be suggesting something else. It's what's known as Ericksonian patterns. And you can tell yours was going, it was your unconscious that was taking hold of your arm, because of the jerky movements. Same with Nick's, it was like a jerky. Because if somebody's faking it, it'll just sort of go like that, like quite a smooth thing. But when the unconscious takes over, it's sort of very abstract with the cells. Yeah, so he'll sort of be a bit of a jerky move, which notice both of you two. So both of you are very hypnotic anyway, but that's because you're practicing meditation anyway. So it's like a muscle for you. It's like instead of using a rower at the gym, you're using an exercise bike now. So you're sort of used to that sort of environment. Yeah. Right. So we're going to do. The past life regression one. I'll be using the script what I was given from Steve Burgess because it's a very sort of generalised, very controlled script and very, very effective. This particular script, I'll be getting you to regress to certain specific dates. Well, I'll be mentioning specific dates like 1900s. Now, it doesn't have to be 1900, it could be 1887 or it could be 1912, it's just around that date. See if anything comes to mind, any pictures, images, any feelings, and then we'll spend a few moments in that past life or imagination or reconstruction. Then we'll go down to 1750, I think the next one is. Yeah, we're going on to 1750 again. It's not exactly 1750, it might be 1787, it might be 1730 something. Just get a feel for what's happening, notice your experience there. Then we go down to 1100, and then we go to 100 AD. After we've done 100 AD, we'll actually go into the future. We go to the year 2100 AD, and then 2300. And it's just to see what comes up more vivid for each individual. Then what we'll do, I'll give you the suggestion of going into that time that felt more predominant with yourself, what felt like there was something there, some sort of learning or understanding or connection there. And then I'll let you spend a few moments in that life, and I'll do some guides, get you to imagine later on having your tea or something, and then future pacing to the death of that life, to experience that without the pain or discomfort, or obviously I'll use all the suggestions there to make it a safe, perfectly 100% safe, just to see if there's any kind of learnings that you can or understandings you can bring from that. Even if you don't think it's a past life, it could be your subconscious trying to sort of give you a message. Like dreams are very semantic, they're very abstract. It's basically because your subconscious works in that kind of way, and sometimes it can be the reason why maybe you're shy in certain areas. If you talk to the opposite sex, for instance, or if you're doing group talks or things like that, it might give you an insight on why that is, or why you might have a bit of a nervous cough, or worst that can happen is that you not actually experience anything, but just allow everything to sort of flow. Yeah. Does anybody want to go to the toilet before? It's actually opposite to what you normally breathe. So when you breathe in, your stomach fills up with air. So I'll exaggerate this, but I don't want you to exaggerate it. So it's like, hold it, and then slowly, as you breathe out, your stomach goes in. So, because how you normally breathe is you normally breathe into your lungs. So it's like, so when you breathe in, your stomach tends to go in, yeah? What I want you to do is the opposite of that, a diaphragm breath. So I want you to just carry on doing the diaphragm breaths. You might find it difficult at first, especially if you're not used to doing the diaphragm breathing, but just go with it. As I say, it's a bit like a muscle. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. So slow, deep breaths now. And on your next deep exhale, as you exhale out, just imagine your eyes closing tightly shut, even more tightly shut than they are now. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to visualise the different muscle groups in your body. And imagine that the different muscle groups are being represented by knots in string. And with every time you exhale, imagine that knot in that string safely, slowly untying, easily and effortlessly. Starting with the muscles in your head and face, all those tiny muscles around your eyes and around your jaw. Imagine them being represented by knots in string. And using your imagination, with every exhale, imagine each and every knot slowly, safely, gently untying. Easily and effortlessly. Becoming loose, and limp and lazy. And now for the muscles in your shoulders and neck. And again, imagine those muscles being represented by knots and string. And again, with every slow exhale, imagine those knots slowly, safely and gently becoming untied with no effort whatsoever. That's right. Now, for the knots that are in your arms, wrists, hands and fingers. With every exhale, imagine each and every knot slowly, safely and gently, easily and effortlessly becoming untied right now. So your arms begin to feel so loose, so limp, so lazy. So your arms feel like that of a rag doll. That's right. Now for your chest and spine. Imagine those muscles around your chest and spine. That's right. Being represented by knots and string. With every exhale, imagine them becoming loose, limp and lazy, becoming untied with no effort whatsoever. That's right. You don't need to try to control your coughs. Just let it happen. It's your unconscious to help you to go deeper and deeper into a trance. slowly, safely and gently. That's right. Easily and effortlessly. Becoming untied and letting go of all those stresses and tensions, all those fears and apprehensions, all those concerns and anxieties, just letting go from all the days, weeks, months and years gone by. That's right. Becoming loose, limp and lazy. Now, focus on the muscles in your thighs. Again, imagine those muscles being represented by knots and string. And again, with every exhale, imagine each and every knot slowly, safely and gently, easily and effortlessly becoming untied. No effort whatsoever. So easily and so effortlessly. That's right. And continue down to those knots in your calves. That's right. With every exhale, imagine all those knots untying with no effort whatsoever. That's right. Easily and effortlessly becoming loose, limp and lazy now. And now those knots in your ankles, feet and toes. Again with every exhale. Imagine and lazy. That's right. And now, I'd like you to imagine the colour of relaxation. Imagine what the colour of relaxation is to yourself. Imagine when you think of the word relaxation, a colour comes to mind. That's right. Imagine that colour going into your toes and feet and ankles and relaxing every nerve, every cell and every fibre as it continues up through your shins and calves. That relaxing feeling spreading up to your knees. Notice how good it feels. The deeper you go, the better you'll feel. The better you feel, the deeper you'll go. As that core of relaxation travels up is covering every single right. Your chest slowly. But it might even make you want to cough. That's also alright. Don't try to control it. Just allow your unconscious to go into trance now. That's right. You will focus intently on my questions and instructions. They will sound loud and clear, but pleasant in your ear. But you will come back up just enough to focus once again intently on my questions and pictures, images, impressions. Feelings float easily into your mind in response to any questions. Other sounds in the room around you allow you to focus more intently on my questions and suggestions. And now we're drifting deeper and deeper to another level of relaxation. Deeper and deeper with each count. Down from 10, slowly and safely. 9, more and more relaxed. 8, slowly and safely. 7, become even more deep. 6, drifting deeper and deeper. 5, more and more relaxed. 4, sinking deeper and deeper. 3, that's right. 2, more and more relaxed. 1, you are now so deeply relaxed, focusing intently on my questions and suggestions. I want you to go back into your memory now to a time when you were standing in front of the front door of the house or apartment where you live now. You're standing in front of your own house or apartment. Your eyes have seen the door, and your brain has registered it. You are there now. Look at your door. Look at what colour it is. Are there any scratches on the door? Is there any glass or railway code numbers on the door? Now, take out your key and let your hand remember how you insert the key in the lock. Do you take it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Now, put your hand on the doorknob or handle. And what does it feel like in your hand? As you open the door and leave it ajar and look down at the floor on the inside of your front door. Notice what colour it is. Is it wood, carpet, tile, or something else? And now close the door and you're on the outside again. And I want you to go to where you can see the whole house, the whole front of the building of where you live. And notice where are the windows placed in relationship to the front door. That's right. I want you to make a leap of your imagination. I want you to stand safely and securely on the roof of the building where you live. You're not afraid of falling and make it a bright, sunny day, and you can see for miles. Now you're standing on the roof, and it's an interesting view of your familiar neighbourhood from up there. Notice, what can you see? Notice the streets, and any other houses, or trees, or any other landmarks. I want you to make another leap of your imagination. I want you to safely and securely lift gently off your roof and fly, as you've done in your dreams. You're flying now, free and light, flying towards the ocean, to your favourite ocean beach. Now you're flying above the beach, and you can see the lacy patterns and foam rakes after the waves break on the sand. And it's a beautiful, clear, sunny day at the ocean. The wave breaks against the boulder at the edge of the beach, and the water sprays high in the air. Each droplet sparkles like diamonds in the sun. Now, you're soaring up over the ocean, higher and higher, and the air is very clear. Higher and higher you fly, safely and securely. And when you look to the horizon, it seems as though you can see the curvature of the earth as the sea meets the sky. That's right. Now you've been flying for a long time. It's a delightful feeling. You're weightless, like an astronaut, free of gravity. That's right. Dip and soar. Turn somersaults if you like. Catch the corner of a breeze and glide on it like a seagull. That's right. Now, a fluffy white cloud comes along, and it's just your size, and it's deep and soft and warm and secure, and because you're weightless, it's wonderfully supportive. Fly over to your cloud, and stretch out, and relax completely now, as I count 5, deeper and deeper. 4, drifting slowly and securely. 3, more and more relaxed. 2, the deeper you go, the better you'll feel. The better you feel, the deeper you'll go. 1, you're floating on your cloud, feeling marvelously relaxed. We're going to float back through time, as though there's no such thing as time. As though time for you has just ceased to be. When I call out time period, let an image or some impressions just come into your mind. That's right. We're drifting back now through time, and the years are floating by. The decades are rolling by, and it's 1900. The time period anywhere around the year 1900. Now, we're drifting further back in time. We're drifting back, and years are floating by, the decades are rolling by. The time period anywhere around 1750. And just allow an image or some impressions come into your mind now. Now, remember those images or impressions of 1750. And now, drifting back, further back in time. We're drifting back and the years are floating by. decades are rolling by. The centuries are rolling by. And it's the year 1100. Allow an image or some impressions come into your mind. Remember those images or impressions for 1100. And now we're drifting even further back in time. Far, far back in time, the years are floating by. The decades are rolling by. The centuries are rolling by. And it's 100 AD. The time period around 100 years after Christ. Let an image or some impressions come into your mind now. Remember those images or impressions from 100 AD. And now, drifting back up time and into the future. We're drifting forward into the future now. And it's the year 2100 AD. Time period around 2100, and allow an image or impression come into your mind now. That's right. That's right. It's the year 2300 AD. It's a time period anywhere around 2300 AD. For the time around 2300 AD. Again, remember that image or impression from 300 years into the future. And now, we're going to review 6 time periods. That's right. And when I complete the review, I want you to choose just one of those periods to explore even further. Choose a time period when the image came quickest, was the most vivid, or that your subconscious has chosen for you. You will not go to a time period where you will have any upsetting experience, and you'll remain aware of the sound of my voice the whole time. So remember your images now as I review. 100 AD, 1100, 1750, 1900, at that time that you have chosen. I'd like you to look down at your feet. Become vividly aware of what you're wearing on your feet. Or are your feet bare? Can you see your toes? If you're wearing something on your feet, what does your footwear look like? What material is it made out of? That's right. Now look down at your clothing. Become aware of what you're wearing. Is your garment below the knee? Above the knee? What colour is your clothing? And now take a piece of the material of your clothing between your fingers and rub the material between your fingers. And notice if it's rough, coarse, silky, smooth, or something else. Are you indoors or outside? Is it day or night? Are you alone or are there others with you? If you are inside, I want you to go to where there is a window or a doorway where you can look out. Look around and see the land here. And what is the landscape, the terrain like here? Is it rocky, barren, rolling, green, or flat? Become vividly aware of the land. Can you see any trees nearby? If you can, look closely at a tree. If there is a tree, what does its trunk look like? And notice what its roof is shaped like. Look at the walls of the building. Notice what colour are the walls of the building, and what material are the walls made out of. That's right. And now feel the air on your skin. Is it hot, dry, moist, cool? want you to go now to the evening of that same day in that lifetime, and you're eating your evening meal. Notice, where are you now? Look down at the food you're eating and become vividly aware of your food, what it is. And take a mouthful of the food in your mouth and taste it. Savor it. Is it spicy, bland, sweet, or something else? What flavours does it have? Become vividly aware now. Look down and see what you're eating it with. Notice if you're using any eating utensils of some kind. You see it vividly there in your hand. Is it a knife, a fork, spoon, or something else? Notice what material it's made out of. How it's shaped. If it's a fork, how many tines or prongs does it have? Now, look at what you're eating from. Is it a plate or a bowl or something else? What's your relationship to that person? How do you feel towards that person? Now, hear my voice and follow my instructions. I want you to go now to the day that you died in that lifetime. You will have no pain and no fear. And if that experience becomes uncomfortable for you, you will go back to your cloud and not experience it, or just watch it safely from a distance. Now, it's the day that you died in that lifetime. Notice where you are now. Is there anyone with you? About how old are you? Become aware now of the cause of your death. Do you die quickly or slowly? Now, you have died and your spirit is leaving your body. Let yourself experience your spirit leaving your body now. Notice what you are thinking and feeling after you leave your body. Become aware of what you're experiencing. the spirit. What happens there? From the vantage point of the spirit, look back at the life you've just lived and be aware of any learnings. Now, the place where you lived in that lifetime, and the name of the place in modern terms will flash into your mind. In modern terms will flash into your mind. And now, go back to your cloud. And as you stretch out on your cloud and relax, let any feelings of physical discomfort leave you. You block awareness of any physical discomfort, and any tension drains from your body. You're floating on your cloud, deeply at ease, feeling lighter and free. You're floating on your cloud, deeply relaxed, but choose to live. I choose happiness. I fully accept me as I am. I am the most important person in my life. I give myself permission to move on. It is safe for me to move on. And I will now smile to confirm my acceptance of these suggestions. I'm going to count from 1 up to 10. And on the count of 10, you'll be back to the here and now, wide awake and fully alert. On 1, remembering all of the learnings, connections or understandings from your experience. On 2, becoming aware of being in this room in the here and now. 3, becoming aware of the seat and of your position. 4, noticing the different muscle groups, becoming more and more alert, more and more aware. 5, slowly, safely and gently, becoming more aware and more awake. 6, becoming more aware that when I say the number 10, that you will be wide awake, feeling completely refreshed. 7, noticing your feet, legs, stomach, chest, arms, hands and head, becoming more and more aware. 8, it's almost completely fully awake now. 9, more and more aware and more alert. 10, eyes open, you're fully alert, wide awake, feeling completely refreshed. Yeah. So it was sort of pleasant.
Yeah, because even when I saw the shooting, because it was weird because I was actually watching it rather than being it, if you get what I mean.
Right, yeah.
It's like, so I don't know if it's me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sometimes, because of the suggestions that I was giving about the BC, you become dissociated.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like, say, for instance, if I'm working on a client and we're doing a phobia technique, we'll get them to imagine watching that movie on the screen.
Yeah.
But sometimes they need to become dissociated from that person that's watching if it's too intense.
Well, yeah, because it was quite weird. When I first went into it, I was a person, because I've seen everybody else and people more than like an authority figure. When you said, you know, you're eating at the table, what you're eating, I was looking down at it.
Right, yeah.
So, because that was me,
Yeah.
child, the lady, the wife, I assume, eating the bangers and mash, as it was. And then when it was outside, he said walk to the stores. I was that person then walking to the stores. And then what I saw was, I didn't see how it happened, I just saw him get out. I assume he was shot. It appeared to be. He didn't see anyone shoot a gun or hear anything.
Right, yeah.
He just went down holding this head
Yeah.
and went down. And then I got a picture of the gravestone with his name on it.
Right, yeah. So you're able to see all that?
Yeah. His name was James Bloor, B-L-O-R-E.
Right, excellent. Was there anything weird about any of that, or apart from the
decks? No, it wasn't. It felt normal. It felt like the period. He's walking into some sort of a workhouse or factory or some sort on the cobbled streets. His kids playing in the street. I don't know if it's what I picked up watching TV and documentaries.
Again, we could not prove or disprove any of that. It's just how you experience it.
But there's one thing was, I don't know if you noticed in my face, I actually got a strange smell. I couldn't tell you what it is. It's his feet, yeah. It was like
to be honest, the only sort of biofeedback I was getting from anybody was Nick, who was sort of all over the place. I don't know whether you're aware of that. Or, was it like physical discomfort or something, or was it something in the past life? Or?
No, it was... that's been a bit of everything really. Touching things and yeah, a bit of everything I think. I do sit uncomfortable anyway quite a lot of the time. Yeah. Yeah, the touching like bowls and clothes. I become aware when you said about touching clothes, I was doing something or other, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was. I had an experience on each.
Right, some sort of.
Which was quite surprising. There was one, I think it was the 1700 one. Did you have a 1700 one?
Yeah.
That one wasn't that pleasant. I didn't really have a lot there, but what I did have, I kind of blocked that one. That was not a happy one. But the one before the 1100 one, I was on a boat. That's what I was quite surprised when you said you was on a boat.
Yeah.
But you want to fit. I want to say it was like a Viking type boat with the.
Right.
I don't think it was a Viking boat, but it was certainly.
Let's say it's like what I explained about memory. About you might be aware that you're on a boat, and then trying to sort of figure out what kind of boat. If you wasn't aware of it, then you'll start creating things to sort of build that puzzle up. So, so that what year was that? Was
that was the 1100 one. And the one after that, which was the 100, I was in ice. I was not in ice, but I was somewhere where it was frozen. It was like an Eskimo type situation.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was ever so weird, and I was walking with like this strange. I don't know what it was. It was like it looked like dinosaur feet. The legs looked like dinosaur feet, but there was 4 of them, and it was like a machine for carrying something, but it was like one side moved, and then there's like a thing connecting the others, and then the other side moved like that kind of, and it just doesn't make sense. That doesn't know what that was.
Well, I was just going to say, you don't try and make sense, because that's your conscious mind sort of.
Yeah, I just saw this thing, and it was just like, I don't know what it was. I've never seen anything in any films what it could actually be.
So what about your future 2100s
2100s.
and 2300s? Has anything come to life there? Or?
Yeah, although it was in the future, it actually felt like kind of past, because I was actually selling rugs, and you know, the carnivorous plants and the Venus flytraps and stuff. I was selling rugs and these flytrap things. Odd. And you know, you wouldn't think that of the future. You'd be something such as.
Yeah. So which one did you actually go into?
The 1900 one, where that was the most vivid one. I was a young girl. See, I knew it.
Just love
when I mentioned young girls, Dave.
I'm putting this on YouTube.
Laughing about the young girl.
When I first was there, I was actually hiding, like in behind like a hill in the shrubs, and there was horses. There was people on these horses. I didn't really see any faces or link anything to anything. And I saw this. There was a couple. There was a man pumping water, and there was a woman. She was winding something. And to me, I don't know what it was, but then my own mind kind of kicked in and thought, well, she must be winding cotton or something like that. But I don't know actually what she was winding.
Yeah.
But she was winding this thing. I was quite a lone person. Like a what's it really? Like a slave kind of thing, really scruffily dressed with a rope tied around the clothing, no
So
shoes.
how old were you roughly?
About 7.
That's how.
Yeah.
Is that why you were probably fidgeting on your chair? Because you really sort of like this.
I don't know.
Bit like watching a child's training.
Fingers.
How was it? Yeah, food wise, I ate out of a wooden bowl with me hands. It was like oats or kind of porridge or something like that. But the odd thing is there was something chucked in this porridge, and it looked like you know, like peppercorns.
Right, yeah.
And it wasn't peppercorns, but that's
Like
what I
black
put.
dots or something.
And it was like a handful of these things were chucked in this porridge. Don't know what they were. We'll have a look.
Some sort of berries or something. Or like tiny berries.
Yeah, maybe, but they were quite hard. Yeah, they weren't soft like you expect berries. They were like peppercorns. But I didn't get the taste of peppercorns.
Yeah.
If I keep bringing peppercorns, I'm going to have a look, see if there was anything like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Peppercorn porridge.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So is there anything apart from your experiences, anything weird about it? Did you recognise anybody in that life that you know this life, or?
No, when you asked to look to the person to the left, there was somebody there, but the face was, it was a blank face.
Right, yeah.
Which obviously wouldn't have been, but it was like,
Yeah, that could be the suggestion that there's somebody there. You know, because obviously when I'm doing forensic hypnosis, you have to make sure that I'm using very clean language. Like, for instance, if somebody was run over by a car, I can't give them the suggestion, can you see that car? Because it implies that there's a car there. I just have to use terminology like, what can you see? What do you notice now? You know, I can't say, if they say see a car, I can say, can you see the number plate? Because it's implanting that there's a number plate in the car. So it might be a suggestion that somebody was there, so it might not have been there. It might have been, your mind just created something because of that suggestion.
Yeah, possibly. But when you said about going into the market, I remember thing. That was probably the most vivid part
Right, yeah.
of the whole, was actually seeing the gravel come, like as you fainted, come close, and that was quite strange, because normally if you fainted, I suppose you wouldn't be aware of that. But I was more aware of that than anything. I got a name, and it was just, I got a name before you even before you come up and asked for a name. I got it quite early on.
Yeah.
But it was a strange name. It was something like Fergal. It wasn't Fergus, it was, because that's a boy's name, but it was something like Fergal or something like that. I could hear someone shouting.
Do you know where the location in Wales you were? Or?
It was in Ireland.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because Fergal's is an Irish name, isn't it? Fergal Sharkey.
Fergal, yes, what female name now?
Is it? I don't know.
Well, I'll use that name.
Yeah, Ireland.
Best potato. Just throw potato in the pot.
Yeah. Well, what was the potato farming in there? Was that in the 1800s?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So it wouldn't be potatoes.
It was probably the gravel for the market. Yeah, but, and then I died when I was about 9.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know what it was, I'm no good with illnesses, but it was coughing up something. It was like coughing up blood and coughing.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of like black fever or something.
TB or something?
TB, yeah.
Yeah, probably from the peppercorns and the yeah, it was probably shot, shot or something.
Did you get anything from that? Any learning experiences? Any sort of messages or connections or anything like that?
Not really. I just, anything that I could put to that is probably why I like food so much now.
Right, yeah.
I love food now.
Do you?
It's just, I eat well.
Like me.
Yeah, it's that's what come to mind.
Yeah. So is there anything that you felt unpleasant or anything you felt weird or out to the old? Did you feel as if it was like a realistic thing, or like your mind was creating it, or?
No, yeah, it felt quite real, yeah. But I was still aware that I was me and not.
Yeah.
Not, you know, I wasn't that. I was still aware that I was.
Yeah.
This was going on.
So it's like watching a sort of movie, if you like, or being a part of a movie that you know that you're sitting here now.
Yeah.
But you're also sort of that engrossed in the movie, it's as if you're actually there as well.
The only one thing I was watching this might just make everything messed up. But the only one thing which happened a couple of times throughout is I saw this figure watching before, and it felt like I've been abducted,
Right, yeah.
which sounds odd. which doesn't go with the situation.
I was just going to say, none of this is going to make logical sense because we are using the conscious mind.
No.
So, you know, it's not about analysing it, it's about this is what he experienced, you know.
Yeah. But it was like, that just then to,
Yeah.
twice if I added throughout that, the scenario, so to say, whatever you want,
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call it, but
Yeah.
it is mental, isn't it? But there was twice I saw this image of this thing, and I've just got the feeling of an abduction, but it was like watching a film
Yeah.
of that time with snippets of something else just put in that,
Yeah.
which didn't go with that situation.
Well, as I explained, it's subconscious, very semantic, it doesn't work in a linear fashion like the conscious mind. So it's, you know, it's very creative anyway, but what's to say that you weren't in two different lives anyway, that one, if that makes sense. So you regressed, you're in a past life regression of being a young girl, but you're also another life or something in the future or the past or
I'm sure you will love one.
Can you remember was it that?
Yeah, it was all like strawy, knotty type, rough. It was not very good.
I'm not being rude, I'm going to have to shoot off in a minute.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
God, the first three, so the 1900, the 1700 and the 1100, weren't very, it almost seemed to be almost abstract because I've got a singular experience. Like the 1900 one, I was an elderly guy and I was building what looked like a Trojan horse, but big, but it was a rocking horse. So it was like a Trojan horse size rocking horse. Black one. That's what I remember doing on that one. That was like my labour of love, was this giant rocking horse that I was building.
Yeah.
That was weird. When we did the looking at your own house, in the 1700 one, I was looking at my house, same thing. It was a cottage.
Right.
I was
What, the house that you live in today?
No, well, when you went through that experience, standing in front of your house, looking at the front of your house.
What, in the 1700s?
No, yeah,
Oh.
I did the same thing in the 1700s. I was stood in front of my house, looking at my cottage.
Right, yeah.
So I saw my house. The 1100 one was weird.
Yeah.
I can only describe it. It wasn't a wigwam. It was a round building, but it was made of wood. Don't know. There was a fire in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was inside this building. It was dark. And it was cozy and all that. But I can only describe it like a big wigwam, but made of wood.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know what that was about. The 100 AD one, I was on a horse, chasing pigs.
Right.
So rather than just a singular thing, I was in the scene was I was killing them.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Then what about the future ones? Did anything happen for you?
Yeah.
In the future?
And the far one, 200-300.
Yeah.
I was in an hospital. So, and that was also the place that I was taken to.
So that was your main...
That was my main one.
Right, interesting, yeah.
Same as Nick though, you know, I was constantly thinking I'm making this up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Mm.
Because I put a rational slant on everything.
Yeah. What you don't want to do is
I was trying
do
to
that
mark.
while you're in
I
regression.
know,
because
I know.
It brings you out
Okay.
of trance level.
Alright, I was on, it was, what's it called? Liberty Island, New York. I was there visiting New Liberty. It was a new Statue of Liberty made of gold. I know there's not enough gold on the planet to make a Statue of Liberty made of gold, so
Yeah.
that's why I should be sorry. It was weird. It was weird because the statue was doing that, and he was looking up and pointing up. It was like it was called the New Liberty. And I remember I was down at the bottom, joking with my friends, that Old Liberty has got bigger feet than New Liberty, because you can see the footprints
Right.
that he was standing in, and they were small feet.
So this is in place of the old Liberty then?
Yes,
It's
where the Statue of Liberty is,
Ah, right.
it was called Old Liberty.
Yeah.
You've now got New Liberty, and New Liberty's feet were smaller than Old Liberty, and it was standing in the same footprint.
Right.
But rather than doing that and looking over the city, it was doing that and looking out. Weird.
You play Simpsons too much.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Crazy, crazy. Was weird. I looked out, you know, you said about looking around, I was looking at the skyline and that. There was a big building, the tallest building on the skyline, you can see from where I was, looking at the island. If I had to describe it, you know, the Gherkin in London,
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
it looked similar to that. The windows were like mirrored windows, but the frames were white, so it was like white and mirror. Anyway, that was just what it looked like. Where I went to eat, we were at an Italian diner, British spaghetti. It was weird because there was 4 couples. Now, couple there was an Asian guy and his missus. There was a guy here and his missus opposite. But then I was here and my missus was opposite me. Well, you rather than side by side. My missus was opposite me, but the guy on the left, opposite his missus, I recognised as my friend who lives in America now.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody I know now.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I think he got a different name, but I recognised him as him. Don't know.
Right.
So that felt weird. God. Saw me death. It was at a truck stop. I had an heart attack and I went down onto one knee. That was weird.
You proposed to me before you went.
Shut up. It was weird.
So can you remember what your occupation were you
Well, do you know when you said that, straight away what came to my mind was dream therapist.
Right, yeah?
What's a dream therapist? That's just nutty.
Not sure as well.
I don't know. I was a surfer, I was. When you were talking about going to the supplies, you said, where do you live? I lived in a place called Lincoln. Don't know where that is. But I know in the majority of this experience I was in New York.
Yeah.
But I was on the beach at one point. And I was running to a hut to get supplies, it was sunblock. I wore like white khaki pants and a t-shirt. And I had white hair, spiky, but it was like superpower gel. So it was like really hard, I don't know.
Didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get none of that at the beginning.
Yeah?
I felt that sometimes I could hear you and sometimes I couldn't
Yeah,
hear you.
that's
I got the people at the side of me. I got nobody at the front. I got where I was on the roof and I fell off. Don't like heights.
Right. Yeah.
I got me deaf. I was 8 and I drowned.
Yeah. Can you remember what year that this was? No.
Future and past.
I can't remember. I kept losing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you talk dead quiet and sometimes you
Yeah.
talk dead loud.
Yeah, I do that on purpose to sort of get you to sort of try and sort of
It was
listen.
really, I find it really hard to do things anyway, don't
Yeah.
I?
Yeah, but you remember being, what, a young girl or young boy or
I was a girl.
young girl? You remember drowning?
Yeah, I can
you
remember
remember the
drowning.
sea? Was it a swimming pool or?
It was a sea.
It was a sea,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else? Could you just remember that particular sort of life experience, or can you remember bits of any others?
I just went into the sea and I just drowned, but then I saw these two lads coming towards me.
Yeah,
Don't ask me who they were because I don't know.
yeah.
And they couldn't save me, I'd gone.
Mhm. And how did you feel through all of that, or any of that? What you can remember?
I felt alright, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really not shy.
Did you feel it? No, I was just going to say, because my first time, it was literally like, I was like, okay, so I'm sort of guessing, this is, try and create something. And that's what I mean, the more you practice, the more, oh, this is, really happening, like, or the imagination's getting a lot better or something, so it's just your own personal experience on this. Yeah, how did you feel throughout the hypnosis side? Did you feel like you were hypnotised this time, or did you feel?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. What did you feel though? Because as I say, you can't feel hypnotised because it doesn't exist. Because you said you were drifting. One minute you can hear my voice, and next minute you were drifting. So was that like a pleasant feeling, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you get anything in the future at all?
No.
Or, so that's all you can remember being in the sea, is it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. You can't remember if there's any sort of messages or any
So I'm not
names.
going to remember what you were asking.
Yeah.
Like these come out with stuff touching cloth, did you say? I can't remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Because it's very hard in a group as well to assess who's going deeper, because I think you went quite deep this time, whereas I managed to sort of level it out with these two. I forgot his name. Jamie. I think he went a little bit too in the moment, because he sort of woke up and stood up and that, and I don't know if you're aware of that. Because you can be oblivious to what's going on around you, even if there's a stampede of elephants or something.
Well,
You know what? Sorry, you just mentioned an elephant. That was, when you said what's the most, that was what it was, an elephant. That, good job you said that, because that was one of the most memorable things as well as the what's it. And I thought, oh, I'm an elephant.
Yeah. So what was it about the elephant? Was it a live elephant? Or?
Yeah, it was a live elephant, and it was like I was amazed to see an elephant. I've never seen an elephant before. When I saw, that's the rolled out. Well,
Now you escaped for Christmas.
that's really strange, actually, you brought that elephant. That's just clicked in my mind. I was amazed to see an elephant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it? Why didn't I remember that before then, until you just said? Because that was really...
I just think there might be things that pop up, because I gave the suggestion about in the next few minutes, days, hours, or weeks and months. The images will be vivid, so you might be sort of driving along and all of a sudden, oh, this happened as well, like, something triggers you.
But I was aware of that, and that was one of the things that when you said remember the the bits and pieces, that was one of the things that I was going to remember, but I obviously forgot because I didn't mention it just when I
So you
said
remember to forget.
one thing that brought me back a couple of times, my nose itch. A couple of times. I come back.
Just scratched it then.
I did scratch it.
Yeah.
You take
You
it.
take it in.
So with regards to timing on that, you know each individual life, how long in physical time do you reckon each one lasted for?
Oh, a couple of minutes, I would have said.
A couple of minutes?
Hardly anything on the past ones.
Yeah. What about all six?
Oh man, the future one was 2100 for me was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think about 2 minutes, would you
On
say?
each one, not on the main
Yeah,
one.
on each.
On each one.
Before us moving on to the next one. A few seconds, a few minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, about a minute. What about yourself? Can you remember any of that?
About a few seconds.
A few seconds. And what about the whole lot, all together from start until I count you out? How long do you reckon that lasted for?
I'd say about
No.
40 minutes. 40 minutes.
40 minutes, about an hour.
Half an hour.
Well, I was timing the individual ones about 1 minute apart, so you're almost. Yeah, it was just under an hour and 10 minutes. That was. So, and that's the thing from I don't know whether Jace was aware, but it's like from our point of view, it's like I need to make sure that I'm not rushing forwards. Because there's no sort of, I can't see what's going on. It's like I can't see whether you're having a vivid experience or what. It's very easy to sort of rush forward, and I did rush the last little bit because obviously you were fidgety, but Jamie was a bit stood up because you had a bit of an unpleasant feeling, sickly feeling. So I rushed the last little bit. But now I know what it was. I don't need to sort of. It probably would have been another 5 minutes on top of that. But yeah, so it's like double what you thought, roughly. So, but you're an almost bang on. So would you like to do something similar again for the next time?
Yeah. You know, we're down, whatever you feel is
Yeah, this isn't something where we come in with pre-expectations or anything.
No, exactly, yeah.
I would probably say amongst the esoteric is the thing I know the least about. I've not even looked at, and I'm intrigued. So I'm just going to go with you or whatever.
As I say, I've done this probably 100 times on a one-to-one.
Yeah.
With the one-to-one, I've got like my biofeedback monitor. It's like a digital display on what's going on. But I'll get like a feedback, what they call it, an analysis. I'll get that person to talk about what's going on. Whereas with a group, you can't really do that. You can't really, because everyone's talking all at once and stuff. And
Yeah.
so it's very hard to get feedback.
Oh, I don't know about you guys, but man, the detailed one, I saw so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much I haven't even spoke about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's everything.
Yeah.
It was
Mine was quite detailed, but I just, like again,
it flashes
I
fine,
forget
doesn't it?
everything, so
Yeah.
I forget everything else.
Yeah.
But it was, that fainting in the market was,
Yeah.
whether that was to do with the illness. What I died of, I don't know.
It's that porridge.
Yeah.
Maybe that was not just, it was hard eating it with your fingers as well. No spoons or nothing.
And you just
So that's your lesson,
enjoyed the experience
Yeah.
without the.
That's your lesson, and use a spoon.
Wine.
But yeah, as I say, the more